This episode of The Horror Show is brought to you by Stephen Walker and Tracy Hansen. Thank you guys so much. They donate over at patreon.com/IHateHorror. So if you can support monetarily, that is the best way to do it. It's basically donations. It's a monthly thing, but you can literally donate 1 month and then cancel or whatever it is. But you do get access to some bonus stuff. We are pretty terrible at doing, but we have a plan in place to start releasing full episodes. I'm actually going to record a solo one after I record this bumper, just because I feel terrible about it. So I'm going to record some solo stuff. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I think I'm going to read blog entries from high school just to embarrass myself because guilt. So yeah, so if you can't support, go over there and you could listen to me read terrible things. Little Mangler update before we kick this show off. Little Manglers take a split last weekend. We get an L and a W, though. We get an L and a W. We lost a tight one, 4-3, and we won a game. I think this final score was 4-3. We definitely scored 4 goals. I think it was 4-3. I think it was the opposite. So, you win some, you lose some, as the saying goes. And that couldn't be any more truthful. But let's talk about these. Let's talk about some of our freaking some of our players here. The game we lost, it wasn't all a loss. It's not a loss when you discover you got guys like Gatlin and Brandon, straight up two-way players, streaking up and down the court. Like, they're locking down the offense, they're locking down the defense. Two-way players, 100%. That's incredible. We got Mason. We're starting to call this kid the Mason jar because he's got so much hustle. We got to put a lid on it. Morgan's cranking in heat. Scoring goals, like, remember that Sammy Sosa commercial from like 98? High heat. That's what we're talking about here. This Morgan is blasting high heat into the net here. Also the Zach attack, so fierce, dude. Zach's playing goalie. He jumps, trying to catch the ball. He smashes into a goalpost. Not gonna feel good. But you know what? This ain't no bad news bears. Ball didn't roll in after he hit the goalpost. He grabbed the ball. He grabbed the ball and held on to it. Wind knocked out of him and everything. Protected the ball. No goal. So, dude, that's dope. And then, of course, do we expect any less of the Mason jar? Mason comes into goalkeeper after that. Just grabbing balls midair. Just jumping in the air, grabbing them. Like the Matrix. Second game, we get roughed up a little bit, which is awesome because we still won. Braden takes a ball to the eye, and everyone's like, "Oh, where's that kid? He needs medical attention." No, he doesn't. He's just running up and down the field still. He doesn't give a poo. He's just running up and down the field, man. Like, ain't no thing. And then everyone got introduced to the E&E Railroad, Eugene and Ethan, who hustled up and down the field like it was nothing. The E&E Railroad took charge, got beat up, and then they were locked down on defense and assist kings. They were just assisting to everyone. And big part of why those 4 points got scored in that last game. So, dude, little Manglers, listen, what's that saying? We don't win pretty. We don't win pretty. We don't play pretty. That's us. That's us, man. We're out there grinding. So, little Manglers, good luck in your next games. I really appreciate that you do this for us. And that somebody's allowing us to talk about children this way. But no, really, we're super stoked. And again, thank you to all the people that supported us and supported the team. All of our fans are so awesome. And if you did donate to that, what I'm going to do is, because we're going to get a team photo like mailed to us. And what I'll do is I'll scan that and I'll make like high quality copies for anyone that donated. I'll get in touch with you, and I'll try and send you guys copies of the team photo, since you guys are all technically part owners. So that's that. The hats are out. I shipped them out Friday, Thursday or Friday. And so you guys should be seeing them very soon. I think the 15th was the estimated date for like all of them. But I do know, as of this recording on Sunday night, I'd already known that some people do have them in hand. So keep your eyes peeled if you ordered them. If you didn't order them, like super limited quantity. I honestly think we maybe have like 6 or 7 total or something like that, maybe less. But I'll be putting those up online probably within the next week or two. I will make a very public announcement, so that if you're interested, like, make sure you email me, and if I know you or you're a fan of the show, and just email me if you really want one, and I'll make sure I put one aside for you. And then I'll put a thing up online well in advance talking about the stock and when they'll be up, and it'll be a very time specific thing. So if you do want it, you can get them. So that's it, man. The Fly is next. This episode was great. This movie was awesome. All thanks to our homie Dre. Thank you so much, Dre, for this and for supporting the show. So guys, enjoy The Fly. Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Horror Show, the show that dissects, mutilates, dismembers, and butchers all of your favorite and not so favorite horror movies and other horror-related events. Sean.
I'm Joe.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
Final week of Monstervision. Can we address the elephant in the room? And we didn't mention it last week.
What?
Fucking Paul's not here.
Holy shit, that asshole.
Yeah, Paul said he couldn't make it on Friday. Originally, not telling us the answer. Well, no, I should say, originally he said, not sure if I'm going to make it Friday. Okay. Then it was a firm no.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was...
I think I have plans.
Yeah, I think I have plans. And then it was, I'm watching the Capitals on Friday.
His favorite sports team.
His favorite sports team.
Of his favorite sport.
Of his favorite sport. He may work for a company that covers sports. In a sport department. That you would see this probably every day. And then yesterday, which is Thursday, he sends a message. Oh, I just realized the game's on Saturday, but I didn't watch the movies, so I'm not doing it. Fucking guy, man.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Anyway, so fuck Paul. I really wanted to do Monstervision with him.
So now what are we going to do with him?
I don't know. I'm going to torture him with something. Something stupid. Not this week, though. This week we had an awesome movie, The Fly.
Yes.
Do you know what year it's from? 1980?
86.
1986. The Fly. Wow. What a movie. Is this our first Cronenberg flick? I think so.
I do believe.
First Jeff Goldblum flick?
Is it?
I think so. First Gina Davis flick. I mean, these are questions that I don't have an answer to.
Goldblum hasn't popped up in anything?
I don't think so. And this was featured on Monstervision. I'll give those drive-in totals in a minute. Some great lines from this Monstervision episode that I just love so much, which is... he goes, at first, Jeff is so charged up, he flies around this crummy apartment doing scenes from Jim Cotta, but soon his face starts to change. And then he highlights all of his facial progressions in the movie. And he goes, we got your basic pizza face look. Then we got cream of wheat cancer face. And finally, when things get real bad, we got your vomit jubilee face. Great ways to explain this guy's face later on in the movie. He also gave away on this one Drive-In Academy Award nominations. I guess this is what he does when an actually good movie plays. Jeff Goldblum as the scientist and Fly for saying, I must not know enough about the flesh. I'm going to have to learn. And I won't be just another tumorous bore talking about his hair falling out and his lost lymph nodes. He also gives one to Gina Davis as the girlfriend for saying, you look bad, you smell bad, and you have these weird hairs growing out of your back. And Big Dave, the director, for writing the line,
Big Dave.
I'm an insect who dreamed he was a man and loved it. All very good in nominations. And now, before we start the flick, drive-in totals. 2 dead bodies, 1 dead baboon, 1 breast, 6 quarts blood, 7 quarts vomit, 8 quarts undecided, 8 unsuccessful Norelco cure, 1 compound fracture, baboon zapping, excessive body hair, huge maggot birthing, ceiling walking, ear rolls, fingernails roll, teeth roll, hand rolls, foot rolls, gratuitous fly puke, 4 stars. Check it out. So what did you think of this? I mean, you've obviously seen it. Do you remember the first time you saw it?
Who chose this one?
Oh, great question. Oh, homie Andre.
Oh, nice.
Dre. Yeah. I don't know what he goes by, Andre or Dre. I think Dre on Twitter.
Nice cube.
Nice. He changes his name.
It's always a great pun.
Dude, it's so good.
I don't know what it is
every
now.
single time.
Wow.
It was well, for a while it was something about Kung Fu Kenny because the new Kendrick Lamar had come out.
Yeah.
So it was a Kung Fu Kenny reference. I don't know what it is now though.
Hold your horses.
So Dre also had chosen
He goes by the name Johnny Questlove, which is great.
That's good.
Yeah.
He also chose Hellraiser and Grizzly.
Grizzly.
I know. He says he loves, I think his girlfriend had said that he, because they both became Patreon members at the same time. 2 fans in love listening to this show. How crazy is that? They sent me a message that was like, because they're long distance, so she came to visit the United States, and she was like, yeah, the whole trip we listened to you guys.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And while we're apart from each other, we'll both listen separately and then like call each other after and talk about the episode. I was like, I don't even know what to say about this, man. Like,
bizarre
there's
and awesome.
Bizarre in the sense that it's like
Surreal.
Yeah, surreal. Like it's not you fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
Like it's like wow, like holy shit. That's just like unbelievable to think that like we are part of their memory.
Right.
Like, because that's big when they get together. When they get together, when they get together, it's like a big occasion right now for them. So it's like they'll remember those moments and be like, "Oh, remember when we listened to that fucking shitty horror podcast? What were we thinking?" But that's just mental. I don't know. Anyway, so Dre picking The Fly, great pick. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. And you know what? This movie aligned with my cult movie challenge, which was nice.
Was this for Splatter Week?
It was.
You know what I did for Splatter Week?
Jaws.
Yeah. That was a stupid choice. But I just haven't seen it in probably like 20 years. So.
There's so many good movies on the splatter one.
There was, yeah. And a lot of them weren't really splatter, in my opinion. Like, I don't think Jaws is splatter.
Most definitely not.
This is splatter.
Yeah.
Like, this is fucking disgusting. But let's get into The Fly.
I think this has probably the best some of the best acting you'll see in the entire genre ever.
Agreed. 100% agreed.
Jeff Goldblum.
Spoiler
alert, he turns into a fly. He is acting like a fly, like during the transformation. Yeah. He's selling it so well. Like when he speeds up his talking.
You don't think about it. Like that's the thing about him. Like you're not like, you don't have to like be like, I see what he's doing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, or what's he doing? Why is he doing
No,
that?
it's very fluid. And
Very
like I remember during this viewing, because I was like looking at it more than I normally would. I was like, how does he know like flies act like that? Like he's all like Jerry moving around.
That's the thing. It's like not even like I'm gonna act like a fly. It's like I'm gonna interpret a fly movement. Like you don't really think about how jittery flies like kind of like walk around, like how they kind of like hop around, and that's what he does. And it's like really interesting. And I also think it's a credit to Cronenberg. Obviously it is. He makes awesome movies, but it's a credit to him too, that fluidity, like to build in these tiny scenes without interrupting the flow of the movie. But then also, because like the speed talking is really highlighted in one scene, and it's when they go and get coffee in the movie.
Yeah.
And it's a quick scene. It means it's a one-off, because all Jeff Goldblum is like, oh, I feel great. I feel great. Like this feels awesome. Like blah, blah, blah. But everyone's like, or Gina is like, what the fuck is going on here?
Right.
And that's all you needed. And it's just like this like perfect flow. Now before we get into it, when did you first see The Fly? Like, do you have a memory of first seeing it?
I can't pinpoint like exactly.
You can't either, which is shocking.
I know I was younger. And I know like this is the type of movie that's been spoofed by like a billion things, like The Simpsons and everything. So my memory is just all over the place.
That's a good point. That's actually a really good point, because like I feel like watching it now, I'm like, holy shit. And I'm like, and I know I saw it when I was younger, but I was like, how would this not be burned into my brain?
Right.
It's weird, but maybe you're right. Maybe it is because like you've kind of seen it before. And while it's gross.
Yeah, I mean, like, I mean, I can't give a specific example, but like even the shows that we grew up, like you see it now with like children's cartoons, because you have a son, like Rick and Morty spoof things all the time. Like, you know, Looney Tunes and Animaniacs and all that shit, like they spoof things like this.
I wonder if I saw it on TV first too, and that could be why.
Probably.
Because I feel like my brain would have fucking blown up if I saw that. Him throwing up on the guys. Anyway, let's get into it. The Fly. What a great fucking movie, man. I can't get over it. Like, I don't even want to talk about the movie in general. I just want to talk about scenes. So we got Gina Davis. We got Jeff Goldblum. Am I going to call them by their names? Probably not.
Goldblum or Goldblum?
Goldblum.
Have you ever seen that like comment by him?
Oh no.
Oh, he says people always come up to me and ask me, how do you pronounce it, Goldblum or Goldblum? And he says, I always respond to him the same thing: how dare you speak to me?
Dude, he's awesome. He's fucking jacked in this movie.
He's in good shape.
He's jacked. He's tall too.
He is tall. Really tight underwear. Cannot be comfortable.
His dingling is...
Dude, it's all the way up his ass crack. Dude, I hate that so much.
Are you talking about that scene when he like goes to the fridge?
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
I knew it. Dude, it's stuck out of my brain too.
I even said something to Tina, my wife, about it. I was like, that can't be comfortable.
Dude, it is so uncomfortable looking. I want to pick it out for him.
Dude, I wear like loose fitting boxers all the time, and I hate when anything's like stuck to my ass.
Dude, it is so like, honestly, if I were in the room with him and he wasn't fixing it, I'd be like, you know what, man, let me just grab that for you. I'd just pull it out for him. Dude, there's no way. Like, I know it was probably him just not wanting to interrupt the scene, but get the fuck out of here. That underwear is so far up his ass. It's unbelievable. Oh my God. And there's not even like that much cloth on it to begin with. So
no,
it's up.
No, it's up there.
Jeff Goldblum
plays Seth Brundle.
And Gina Davis plays
Veronica Quaife. Quaife?
Are you serious right now?
It's Quaife.
Quaife? All right. They're at a gala.
Quaife?
This movie just hits the ground running too.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's awesome. Like, it's perfect. We're at a gala and Brundle and what's her name?
Veronica.
Brundle and Veronica meet at this gala. Veronica is a reporter for Particle magazine.
They call her Ronnie.
Ronnie, yes. So we'll call her Ronnie because that's very easy.
Because that's literally what everyone else calls her.
and they're talking, and Jeff, I don't know. I'm just calling him Jeff. Jeff is spitting game, and he's like, "You want to come back to my place for cappuccino?" Which she does. Yeah. Jeff is thinking it's more of a romantic occurrence, and she is definitely more into it, kind of for both. But once she sees the opportunity to use it as a story, then she's more invested in it.
Which, that's her job.
Oh, yeah, 100%. So she agrees. We get some fast talking from Jeff about barfing in cars or something.
Yeah, he gets motion sickness.
And really, it's like...
He has a good line. He's like, she's like, what separates you from everyone else? And he's like, they all say they're going to change the world. And he's like, I am.
There's so many good lines. And that's literally what I was about to say. Good movies are so hard to rag on because the dialogue is so good.
I never write down dialogue, and like 90% of my notes is dialogue, which I realize I won't be able to talk about. But
yeah, good... From what I've seen from the good movies we've watched, the writing is the key to all the movies. Like writing the dialogue, like with Wes Craven when we saw that, or was it what?
The New Nightmare.
Yes.
Yeah.
When we were like, holy shit. And even the original where the dialogue between the kids was like natural.
Yes.
And it was like, wow, that's really good writing. Like that's what changes a movie. And it's just really good here. I make fun of him talking about barfing in a car, but it was like a supernatural conversation. We enter the Brundle Cave for the first time, and Goldblum starts tickling the ivories.
Twice in a row.
Could call him Brundletoven. Gina is basically like, Gina's like, you know what, I'm out of here because Jeff's just in it for the, get some strange. But he's like, you can't leave yet because you saw my experiment.
Which they're like, he doesn't want her to like talk about these things. They could not be more in the open. Like anyone he brings to
sitting there. And that's like what he says. Like he's like she's like, she doesn't think she saw him.
She calls him designer phone booths.
Yeah.
Which at what point do you think somebody would watch this movie and have no clue what she's referring to?
It's coming soon.
It's gotta be soon, right?
It's very soon.
Like James, your son, he won't know.
No.
What she's talking about, right?
No. Because I mean Superman doesn't even jump into phone booths anymore.
Oh fuck, you're right. You gotta bring that back. Bring that back,
Snyder. Jump into Snyder. He will not.
I know.
It'll be the most sad phone booth.
Kill 20 people on the way.
With a mother named Martha.
Just looking through the phone book for Martha's.
Oh my God. Did you see my tweet about Alien versus Predator? Where I said
they both
have moms named Martha. Yes. I'm sorry. I rarely like compliment my own tweets, but I laughed so hard at my own tweet on that. They don't kill each other because their moms are named Martha. That would be so funny. Yeah, Gina calls them designer phone booths. Jeff explains, they work, but it's clunky. And he calls them telepods.
Yeah, great name.
Well, it explains everything that they are. Yeah. And Gina's like, what's a telepod?
Pods that teleport things.
Jeff goes, give me something personal of yours, like on your person. And she gives him pantyhose.
Stocking.
Yeah. And Jeff's facial expressions when she hands it to him are like the funniest. His eyes are moving. His eyebrows are like fucking moving like a mile a minute. He's just making all these ridiculous facial expressions.
I believe these two were married in real life during the time of this.
No, are you serious?
Or they're at least dating. They were married. But
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
This is their third movie together. They're in Earth Girls Aren't Easy, Transylvania 6500.
Shit.
But it helps because their chemistry is very noticeable.
Oh, it's off the charts. Yeah. It's great. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Gina's looking good in this.
She looks great.
Yeah, she looks really good. Gina, his mind is fucking blown. Like, even though she doesn't fully understand what's happening, she's like, whoa, like what? Like you wouldn't. Like she's like, what did you do?
After he transfers.
Yeah.
So he puts the stocking in one pod, comes up to the other. She thinks it's a magic trick.
But she's also like, it's even better than that. Like the dialogue is written so well where it's like, she's going, what is this, a magic trick?
but really she's like, just like, you need to tell me the solution, the logical thing, like we were talking about in the last movie. She's like,
she says something
logic.
she says something like, I don't get it. And he's like, you got it. You just can't handle it.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
And your mind can't process
and that's
what's
the
happening.
truth.
Yeah.
And that is the truth. And she does actually a great job of like portraying that. Like
Agreed.
her face is like, okay, I know what I saw, but that can't be possible. Like that's what it is. And it's really good.
And then she's like, well, I'm going to write a story about it. And he's like, what? Because first of all, she's a journalist.
Yeah.
He clearly showed her. Like, why would you think? This is the biggest invention of all time. Why would nobody share that?
And when they meet at the gala, she's like, do you have anything interesting to show me? And he's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, at my house.
Yeah.
And he's like, you can't write about this.
Baby. She's coming over. Yeah, because you told her you had something to show her.
And he's like, oh, God, what the fuck?
But she gets busted because she has a tape recorder. And it immediately starts beeping like as soon as like 5 minutes after she starts recording her audio of them talking. And Jeff just freaks out.
Yep. She ends up leaving. She goes back to, I think is that the same day or it's the next morning at the very least?
Time is weird in this movie.
It is.
It just jumps around.
She goes back to her office and she tells her boss, like I guess the journal, the newspaper editor or wherever she's working.
Particle
magazine editor. And he pretty much says what anyone would say. You fell for a trick, a nightclub scam.
Yeah. Which is great. And that's smart.
And he shows up.
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum shows up shortly thereafter and says, you must have made an impression. The magician followed you here.
And the boss has a great line. He's like, hey, you make things disappear. He's like, I have an assistant editor that outlives his usefulness.
Yeah, that was awesome. There's so many good lines in this. So Gina's talking to him, talking to Brundle, and she's like, my boss thinks you're a con man. And Goldblum's like, oh, that's awesome. Like, because he does not want this story out at all. So he's like, oh, thank God, thank God. And then he's just like, I've come here to say one magic word to you. Cheeseburger. And then they go get cheeseburger. and Jeff's a lot cooler now. Maybe a little smitten. Maybe a little, he's just falling for her.
Yes.
Falling for Gina. So they go out to get cheeseburgers and he's basically like, they talk extensively about it for, again, somebody who doesn't want this out there. But he says something's important's missing. He could only teleport inanimate objects. He cannot teleport like living material, organic material. But Jeff pitches, listen, don't tell anyone right now. But when I'm done, you'll have the book rights, interview rights, papers, magazines, whatever you want. It's all exclusive just to you.
Yeah.
Which is a fucking deal and a half, in my opinion. And he says another great line, a complete record of the most earth-shattering invention ever.
Yes.
Which is like, just so good.
I mean, I'm going to say it numerous times. This is just a good movie.
It's just really great.
Perfect movie.
We get
Oscar winner.
We get a see.
Is this the first Oscar winner on
100%? We've never had an Oscar. What did it win an Oscar?
I think it was like best makeup or best costume or something like that.
Man, it was fucking vile. We learn a little bit more. The editor of Particle Magazine is also an ex-lover who is
just breaking and entering.
Handsy, breaking and entering, just being a general creep, taking a shower in her house without her there.
And why is she not calling the police? She's like, what are you doing in my house? Like, you gave me a key. And she's like,
and then they have like a 5-minute conversation. It's like,
this
I'll see you in the office.
Showering.
Yeah, you can have him arrested.
Can you imagine going to your house? Like assuming you were living by yourself. You went to your house and just an ex was in there showering. I'd be furious. I'd burn my house down and just move to a different state.
I would move. I would 100% move. Or just change the locks. Because the guy's like, I have a key.
That is probably the easier solution.
Burn your house down and move. Yeah. Back at the lab, Brundle Babe shows Gina what's happening with living things.
And she has a big VCR.
Oh, the biggest fucking VHS tape recorder.
Yes, that's
because she's going to document everything. She's filming it. But he's going to show her what happens when they try organic material.
She uses a baboon. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not like a lab rat? Yeah, exactly.
Anything. Especially because you know what's going to happen.
An insect.
he just was like, in that burger scene even, she's like, well, what happens to them? And he's like, you don't want to know. And she's like, is it worse than this? And he's like, yeah. And she's talking about a burger. And then he does this and he gets upset in the, so he puts the baboon in. The scene is phenomenal though. Does the teleport. There's so much fog in these teleportation machines, which is silly, but awesome.
It's a great effect.
It makes a great effect. So the pods are full of smoke, which gives you a moment of you don't know what's happened. Every time they teleport something, you're like, well, what happened? And then you just see a fucking bloody hand hit the glass on it and just smear down. And they open the pod door and it is the
guts and it's still moving.
It's like an inside out baboon.
Yeah.
It's so gross. It's fucking gross.
Yes.
And but Jeff's like upset. Like Brundlefly's like upset. Brundle is upset. And she's like, come on, Seth, you gotta talk about it. You gotta tell us what you're thinking. Fuck is what I'm thinking. Weirdest scene. He's fuck is what I'm thinking. But it's just odd because literally the day before he was like, yeah, I kill things in this. If I put a living thing in there, it's dead.
Which makes you wonder how many baboons he's gone through and how he has such a good baboon connect.
The baboon connect is the more concerning part. Where are they coming from? He has like an apartment in New York City.
That is what he has.
Fuck is what I'm thinking. And then Gina goes, good, the world will want to know that.
And
that'll be the one thing.
Fuck is what they're both thinking.
I assure you, they will omit that from the book. And yes, fuck is what they are thinking because they hit the bedroom.
She sucks on his nipples.
Dude, I'm so glad I didn't just take that sip of soda. That would have been everywhere.
What did that quarterback say in his tweet? I like kissing boobies.
I like kissing titties. Gina Davis also loves kissing titties. So Gina Davis is kissing titties. Sexy saxophone here. Great scene. Yeah. Also a great scene is Gina Davis asking him if he changes his clothes and then opens his wardrobe and he's got Doug Funny's closet. He's got 6 of the same outfit that he's wearing, a suit. And he claims it's like something Einstein did. So you don't have to think about your clothes, which is like, dude, I have a drawer full of shirts and jeans. Granted, that's not much different than wearing the same outfit every day. I don't think about shit. Like I just grab shit.
I just grab what's on the floor, which is usually the same. Me and him are the same.
Yours is just always dirty.
Yeah. Less ironed.
But Jeff like hops up and he's like, I want to try an experiment. And they had talked about earlier having steaks for dinner.
Yep.
So Jeff decides he's going to try and transport steaks.
Yes.
Great scene. And I like this scene because he explains teleportation in a way that literally makes sense. Like I'm saying this like I'm not a scientist, but the way they're describing teleportation isn't like we break it down and send it through a tube. Like it is like we decode it and then this thing rebuilt it.
Yes.
And
that's the thing about this movie that works so well is that like I don't know if that's a true theory or not, but I believe it. Like I believe it, at least in this universe while watching it. Like it made sense to me because he believes it.
And you know what else is funny? It's overly complicated.
Yeah.
That's a hard concept to explain to an audience. And I'm sure there are people that don't like this movie because they're like, what the fuck are these people talking about? But like, it's because it's overly complicated. It also helps you like just digest it. Like it just, listen, I'm not going to understand it. I'll just take it for what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So it's amazing. And, so they try the steaks, but they come out kind of tasting synthetic and that's it. That's it for that scene. But Brundle's getting it. He's, clearly the steak came out looking the same. It was just, there's something different about it. Like Gina just didn't like it all the way. Gina and her ex are now talking at work, and the ex is now jealous that she's hanging out with Brundle. She's like, I'm onto something big. He goes, what? His cock?
This guy's a real jerk.
That guy is such a jealous, over-controlling piece of shit weirdo. He's such a fucking creep because she is never once like making it look like she might still be interested in him. And he's just like, hey, baby.
And he also threatens her, I believe, at this point, to publish the story without her consent.
Yeah,
because he's upset that she's...
Yeah, and in the next scene, she gets an envelope in the mail, and it's got the fucking cover with Seth's picture on it.
Yeah.
And she's like, I gotta go talk to this fucking asshole. And she confronts him, and he says he's got the right to publish it, and he still makes a pass on her, like a total piece of shit. Like, he's still like, well, so you want to take a shower together? Yeah. Like, his passes are like so disgusting. But Goldblum has now caught on to these two.
Can I stop for a second?
Yeah.
Do you hear that fucking noise?
Yeah.
That ringing noise?
Yeah.
You heard that the whole time or just now?
I remember it's this thing.
I haven't heard it until just now.
Oh.
It's like a dog whistle in my ear.
Oh, wait, no, it's coming from over there.
Yeah, whatever. I just want to make sure it wasn't me.
I'm gonna hear it. I had heard it before, but like I can like zone that stuff out. But it's because I'm here every day. So Goldblum figures out that what's the editor's name? Do you have it? It was something weird.
Stathis,
yeah. So Goldblum's he's caught on to Stathis, I don't know. And he's like, he thinks that there's
Dick Face.
He still thinks that they might be like an active item. So he's getting all jealous and he gets drunk and he starts talking to Brundleboon. Brundleboon. Because he's put it together. And he's like, he's drunk and he's like, I didn't mean to kill your brother if that means anything. Dude, how many of these fucking baboons are you running through? Like, it's out of control. And then he's like, I wouldn't ask you to do anything I wouldn't do myself. Dude, fucking Brundle boy gets into the fucking machine himself.
Yep.
Butt ass naked.
The baboon's flipping out.
Peebus hanging out.
Yep.
The baboon's freaking out. And we see that there is a fly in the pod with him.
Yeah. At first it's on like the door.
Yeah.
And then it flies around and you see it in the window, like of the pod.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's really amazing. This idea is just so genius. I just love it so far.
He teleports.
He teleports successfully. Mm-hmm. Comes out in one piece, feeling great. Feeling good. Feeling great. Feeling good. How are you? And Gina shows up. Jeff reveals that he's what he did. And her concern is minimal. She's like, you could have died. So he's like, well, I didn't. She's like, okay.
Fair enough.
Like, and then he's drunk. He's still drunk. He's like, are you sleeping with Stathis Barnes? JG's like, Jeff Goldblum's crying like a fucking jerk here. He's like, does he still love you? And shit like that. Yeah. But whatever. But she reassures him, don't worry. You're a grown man. It's fine. Nothing's happening.
You're a grown man.
And then the next scene, we are starting to see the transformation.
Hair coming out his back.
Jeff Goldblum jumps up, starts doing fucking acrobatics.
Acrobatics. Did you write that word down?
Acrobatics?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he call it that in the movie?
No.
Okay, because that's what I wrote down too.
Yeah, so did I. In his house. It's a really great scene, even though it is like super silly. Like
it's super noticeable that's not Jeff Goldblum.
Very noticeable. But it is just a great scene. Like, I think one of the cool things about this movie is this guy's basically a superhero.
Yeah.
But somehow, like, he's a superhero. Mm-hmm. We just got his origin story. This is like no different than Spider-Man or anything like that.
No, it's not.
But somehow this scene isn't like, oh yeah, this guy's got all these powers. It's like, oh no.
Right.
Like, this isn't good.
This is more like a Venom origin.
Yeah, but not even that. It's just like, this is disturbing. Like, it was unsettling. Like, you're just like, nah, this ain't right. Like, you're not like, yeah, you could do so much with these powers. It's like, I think you might. No, this is bad. Like,
yeah, because he's way stronger. He's like way more energetic.
Super energetic.
Super horny.
Can't stop talking about fucking.
Dude, flies fuck a lot.
Is that a fact?
It gotta be.
Dude, their lifespan.
Let me Google.
Their lifespan is like 48 hours.
Wait, what?
A fly's life? A housefly's life?
48 hours?
48 hours long.
It's way too long.
Dude, when they impregnate each other, it's like minutes or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, dude, it's insane. I just looked it up recently for no reason. So
you can even Googling, do flies have a lot of sex?
Look up fly gestation period.
Don't flies masturbate?
Oh, flies don't.
Dude.
The fly gestation period is 24 hours. So,
yeah, but how do I find out if they fuck a lot? Because why would this guy be horny? Flies have to fuck a lot.
A fly that's born, a female fly that's born, can reproduce in a few hours. Like they mature, their rate of maturation is insane. Isn't that nuts?
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy. Here, life expectancy of houseflies.
Dude, I don't know what I just searched, but there's a bunch of maggots in this girl's butt crack. but it's she's wearing pants. This is disgusting.
Oh god. What the fuck? Also, they live a lot longer. They live 15 to 30 days.
Okay. Still way too long.
So anyway, enough about real flies. So we see the scene where they go out to eat. They go out for coffee. Jeff's talking to Milo a minute. He's pouring like a ton of sugar in his coffee, and he's explaining that what he thinks is happening is that the deconstruction and reconstruction of himself has somehow purified him and basically made him a better version of himself, which he's super pumped about. He's like, this is fucking phenomenal. Jeff and Gina, they have a fuck sesh that lasts for hours. It's literally what they say. But she touches his shoulder and feels these fucking, the hairs were disgusting.
They're barbed.
Yeah. And they look like giant stitches, like the shit that they put in stitches.
Yes.
And Gina's like, they're really coarse. Dude, they're like an 1/8 inch thick. Like, they're more than coarse.
Yes.
Like, call them what they are.
You know what? She cuts them.
Yeah.
I was expecting him to feel pain.
That's what I was, too.
He did not.
No.
Yeah.
And then Jeff jumps up and he's like, you're going through this right now. I want you to go through this now. I won't be able to... I won't be able to wear you out. We'll be the perfect couple. Like, that's what he's worried about, is like fucking her to death. We'll be the perfect couple. And she's like... Dude, I don't like this, like, at all. Like, this is weird. And he just goes, you're a fucking drag.
You're a fucking drag.
He is so pissed so fast. And she goes, something went wrong, Seth. Yep. Something went wrong. Her in, like, panic mode is phenomenal.
Yes.
It's really good. And he goes, you're too chicken shit to be a member of the Dynamic Duo Club. Might be the weirdest line of the movie.
He storms out, goes to a bar. There's apparently a hooker that's sitting at the bar that he starts macking it with.
Dude, I don't think she's a hooker. She says I'm not a hooker.
She's a hooker.
I mean, she was going to go home with whoever won she's arm wrestling match, but she's like, Jeff Goldblum's like, I want to take you home. She's like, what do you think I am? Yeah, and then Jeff is like, all right, if I win this arm wrestling match, will you go home with me? She's like, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of hookers will say that to you.
And Jeff Goldblum is eating a chocolate bar at the bar, like just gnawing on one.
Well, because like, flies love sugar, and you could see how much sugar he's intaking.
Yeah,
like all the sweets
it
and
was
stuff.
just silly. A grown man munching on. And he's looking weird now. His skin is weird.
Yes. That's the other thing too. Before his full blown transformation, it's like subtle and like frame by frame. It is. It's awesome.
It's very subtle. It's great.
I love this scene because there's two like meathead biker dudes arm wrestling.
Yeah,
it's like what's that Hulk Hogan movie?
No Holds Barred.
Yeah, it looks like it belongs in No Holds.
Oh yeah.
And Goldblum challenges them, or challenges one of them. Start arm wrestling. The guy's sweating, and like, good.
You're good, yeah.
And then like pus is like coming out of Goldblum's arm. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Like some type of secretion.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if flies do that.
I don't know either, but it was gross.
He ends up just snapping this dude's arm.
Dude, snaps.
The bone comes right out.
Fucking, it's gross. And then Jeff just grabs the girl and it's like, let's go. And they run off. He brings her home. Brundle is now just using the teleportation as like a party trick.
Yeah.
He brings her in. He's like, all right, I'm going to show you something. He just teleports himself.
She's not that impressed. I feel like my mind would be blown. Like, what are you doing?
She was like, wow.
Yeah. And he really wants her to go through it.
Yeah. And they start banging. And we see Jeff Goldblum's like weird tiny ass just clenched up. It was gross.
Clenched up.
Dude, it was so clenched.
So used to having that underwear shoved up it.
Holding his
protection mode.
Jeff is now saying like he wakes up the next morning next to her. He's acting super weird. He's begging her to go through the teleportation device so they could be the dynamic duo, I guess. But he's also saying everything is hurting now. Like she touches him and he's like, like.
And alcohol rubs.
Yeah.
She's a weird thing anyways.
It's not
a thing.
Never had that. And he's just screaming, don't be afraid to go through. Then Gina walks in. Classic
one
line.
of the greatest lines of all time.
Is this where it originated or is it from something else?
Is it from the original Fly?
Maybe.
It would help if we
knew anything about what we talk about. Be afraid. And she says, be afraid. Be very afraid. Which is, I don't even care if anyone said it. I think her delivery is top notch.
Yeah.
And frankly, if it's in the first one, fuck that. Because this one's actually terrifying.
It's it's from this one.
It's from this one.
Is the origin.
Dude, that line is so iconic, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But Gina's here to confront him. We get the line, you look bad, you smell bad. And Brundle is like full on kind of going off the rails now. He's kind of acting like a fucking meth head or something. Because he's like, she's like, you look bad, you smell bad. And he was like, I was never much of a bather. You're like, all right. She tells him that hair she cut off got tested.
Yeah.
And Brundle's just like twitching and like moving around the kitchen. And he's like, oh, okay. All right. That's cool.
Punching wood pillars.
That's cool. Yeah. Well, it's not that yet. Now he's just doing that thing. He's like ignoring her because she's like, hey, Brundle, you know that hair I cut off? Yeah. Well, I brought it to the lab. Yep. That's great. Oh, yeah. And they said you were an insect. He's like, that's impossible. And that's when he gets serious. And Jeff is like, you're just jealous. Does this look like a sick man? And that's when he's just, does this look like a sick man to you? Are you fucking punching? Can you even that was like 1.5 feet of wood.
Yeah.
Solid wood. He's just punching.
It's just splintering.
It was amazing. And he kicks her out. Kicks her ass out. And then Jeff goes to the bathroom after just being like, does this look like a sick man to you?
Yeah.
Goes to the bathroom and his fucking, this scene.
Fingernails are coming right off.
Dude, he's like looking at his teeth, like using his fingernail to go across his teeth. I know. And his fucking fingernail just rips off. And then he rips off another one and it's so fucking gross. And then, do his teeth fall out in this one? No, that's later.
That's later.
Oh my God. His fingernail, he just straight pulled one off.
Like, even though he just yelled at Gina, now he's like, well, I'm fucked.
And he goes, what's happening to me? Am I dying? Like he says that to himself.
Doesn't the computer say like Brundlefly? The computer just tells him.
Well, yeah, he goes up there and I love this scene though. Cause so the technology is ridiculous. He's having conversations with a computer, but he's like, what did like Brundle, he can refer to himself as Brundle. The computer understands he's Brundle. Even the computer, I mean, for as illogical as like this technology was for the time, they still made it like make sense. Like the computer doesn't really know what a fly is until he says like it's a fly. He says second element is a fly. Like we see him type it in, and now the computer's referring to it as a fly.
Yeah.
So it's like really well thought out. But he goes, second element is not Brundle. So he's like using the computer to find out. He zooms into this image and he sees a fucking picture of a fly, which is silly. And it goes, if secondary element is fly, what happened to fly? And it says fusion.
Yep.
So not that we didn't know this, but Brundle and the fly have fused together to create one thing.
One Brundle fly.
Yeah. Gina shows up and things have taken...
He calls her.
A dramatic turn.
Yes, he calls her and she walks in. He's like kind of like behind the pod.
Yeah.
Like you hear his voice. He's fucked.
He's got 2 canes now. His fucking face is hamburger meat. And he explains what happened. He's like, he's talking like a poet now too. He's like, I'm the offspring of Brundle and a housefly.
And he throws up in his hand.
Oh, he picks up a donut. Him and Gina are talking, and he just picks up a donut. He's like holding it under his chin, and he's just like,
and he goes, "Oh, that's disgusting." And then, like,
that's like one of my favorite scenes. He's like,
the scene's like powerful too because he's doing all this, and he's explaining like his transformation to her, and then his ear falls off. But his reaction is like, I'm so scared. Like, why would he not be? And she like just, even though he's so disgusted, like I wouldn't touch him with a 10-fuck. I would leave those premises.
And he thinks he has cancer,
which is insane because he knows he's fused with a fly.
That's true.
He literally just found that out.
I forgot about that. I forgot he found that out.
But regardless, he's scared because, he's losing an ear.
Help me, please help me.
Yeah, and she holds him.
She holds him, and it's fucking sad.
And that scene was powerful for me.
Yeah, it was, but it's also funny. That donut scene, dude, cracks me up because he vomits on it. It's like, meh. And then he like looks up at Gina, and Gina's like, "What the?" Like Gina's eyes are like popping out of her head, and then he like kind of looks down again, and then looks back up at her. He's like, "Oh, that's disgusting."
Yeah,
like he had to think about it for a minute. Like, oh yeah, I've been doing this for the last couple of days. I forgot to tell you.
Well, also maybe because the fly part of him thinks that's normal.
Well, that's
like
definitely
the human
part
parts
of it.
take
That's definitely a big part of it, and you'll see that kind of come up a little bit more. Gina goes to her ex's house and it's like, dude, shit's fucked up.
Yeah.
And he's like, you have to stay away because he could be contagious. And he's right. Like in that guy's head, he's thinking like he's using technology we don't know about.
Yeah.
It could be a virus or something. And the best part is like she's like, he's telling her she should stay away. And she's like, I can't stay away. It's him. And he's like, I'm sure Typhoon Mary was a very nice person when you saw her socially. Fucking awesome.
Great line. He also says in that last scene, I believe, that he's like losing his human reasoning. He's like acting on like animal instincts.
Yeah. He does like that speech about bug politics. He's like, there's no politics in bugs. I think was that there?
Is that there?
Bug politics. I don't know. Anyway, that was the weird part. I was like, sure, pal. He's like, I want to be the first bug politician.
It'd be great if you started campaigning.
Dude, I'd vote for Brundlefly. He's a smart guy.
He's not that smart.
No. So Gina's ex is like, listen, show me what's going on and I'll come up with like a solution for you kind of type of situation. He's like, just show me what's happening and we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Once you prove to me that this man is turning into a fly. She shows him a video of Brundlefly eating.
Yeah. He's having the same reaction we all are. Just gagging.
Yeah, it's fucking gross. It's so fucking weird. And Brundle's like on another level. She walks in and he's like crawling on the ceiling. He's like talking like a lunatic. He's like, hey, what's this? This? I don't know. He's like, just like a madman. And then he sits there, he's like, I'm becoming Brundlefly. It's the first time we hear it. And he goes, how does a Brundlefly eat? And then you hear him explaining it. We don't see it again, but we see the editor, and he's watching it, and he's like, what the fuck? Like, verbally, he's like,
you can hear him vomit. Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah.
And you can hear Jeff vomiting on it. And Gina comes home upset.
And we know that Brundle is going to try to like dilute the fly genes with human DNA. He's trying to find a cure.
He's trying to figure out something, figure out a way to do it. And like he even goes through his computer and is like, I forget, like you can see him like it's like a process of like teleport me again, but remove as much fly DNA as possible, like stuff like that. But Gina reveals she's pregnant.
Yes.
And it's with Seth's baby.
Yep.
What a nightmare. What a fucking nightmare.
And speaking of which, she soon has a nightmare of giving childbirth, but she gives birth to a ginormous maggot.
It's so fucking gross. And by the way, I started watching the second one, and the second one opens up with somebody giving birth to a giant maggot. So I wonder if it's supposed to be Gina. Holy shit. Anyway. So I don't understand, but I think Cronenberg was one of the doctors.
He was.
Yep. Yeah.
She wakes up, but she wants the baby out of her immediately.
Yes.
So Stathis calls up a guy and is like, you need to perform this abortion in the middle of the night.
The guy's like, Gina's like, I need this done. And the guy's like, it's like the middle of the night. Like, honestly, like, he's right. Like, how the fuck are you going to find somebody to do that? But he does. But back to Brundlefly, because his teeth are falling out now.
Yes.
Just fucking falling out. And Brundle is now just like a giant mass of lump. He's just like a walking tumor now.
Yeah.
Gina comes by. Brundle tells her.
The makeup is so good.
The makeup's unbelievable. Because again, you don't really even think about it too much.
No, it looks like it's like
real.
Like, I shouldn't say normal, but it doesn't look like you piled makeup on someone.
I think it's like because they kept like the ratios proper. I don't know how to explain it. Like,
yeah, because you can still see Jeff's like mouth.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Gina comes by. Brundle tells her to get lost. Oh, this is the insect politician thing. And then a line that like never really hit me until I watched it this time. And it was the one I read earlier from that Joe Bob talks about. And he goes, I'm an insect who dreamt he was a man and loved it, but now the dream is over. That is just David Cronenberg's on another fucking planet.
Yeah.
And actually, I was going to say this earlier. When he kicks Gina out the first time, when she doesn't want to teleport with him, when she doesn't want to become a dynamic duo, he's talking about the flesh, which is like all David Cronenberg talks about in all of his movies. It's always referred to. He's always talking about the flesh. He's talking about the flesh, and it is like chilling shit. Like, he's like, you don't understand the flesh. Like, you don't like talking about penetration and like, but it's not sex. He's like, you have like a simpleton's idea of the flesh. And it's like, Cronenberg is just on like a fucking weird next level shit, man. Like to a point where it's like, sometimes I don't like some of his stuff. Like The Brood, I'm not like the biggest fan of.
Cronenberg's actually an alien.
I wouldn't doubt that. Because who else could look at flesh the way he does? And like make like not just a movie about it. He's made like a career out of it. About talking about flesh. And it's never the same. And it's all fucking disturbing. And you're just like, you kind of want to kill yourself after. You're just like, fuck this. Fuck the flesh. I hate my flesh.
So she's in the doctor's office.
Yeah.
Trying to convince this guy to abort the baby, and Brundlefly, much like a superhero or Superman, crashes through the doors, abducts her, and just leaps building the building.
Yeah, and that's not as absurd as it sounds because he had overheard them. Yeah, they were outside his apartment, and he heard her be like, "Let's do it." After this conversation about him being a full-on bug.
Also, maybe not have the conversation near his apartment.
I mean, I don't know why you'd have it outside the car. Like, be like, get in the fucking car.
Why would you even be near his apartment at this point in time?
I mean, yeah. Why did you have to go see him again?
Why did she have to go see him again?
I think she really wanted
to make sure he was a fly.
Well, let me just double check. Yeah. No, I think it was more like, and again, this was good acting by Gina because this is how I felt. When she walked in, it was like she wanted to tell him
about the baby.
Yeah. And he was acting like a lunatic, of course, and a fly. And she was like, you know what? Maybe it's best I don't tell you.
Yeah.
And then like she was out of there.
Yeah, you're right.
So it was really good. But yeah, he jumps in, he steals her, which was so cool because like what I like about this movie and it being a Cronenberg movie is it's as much as it's a Cronenberg movie, it's Cronenberg doing not a Cronenberg movie. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
it's a 50s.
well, yeah, but like having him come in and almost be that like Wolfman or like Hunchback of Notre Dame, like steal the girl and like fly away, no pun intended, but like whisk her away, is so not his MO.
Right.
And I mean, he puts his spin on it where it's not truly that, but it's just interesting to watch him do that because it just seems not in his ballpark. But anyway, so he brings her to his place.
And he's going to.
Well,
he wants her to keep the baby.
Yes, he wants her to keep the baby
until his like last term.
Right. Ex-boyfriend shows up. He goes in without Gina.
This next sequence of events
is insane.
Is amazing.
They kind of battle it out a little bit. And then Brundle knocks him down.
He has a shotgun.
Yeah. Brundle knocks him down.
And barfs on him.
Barfs on his fucking hands.
And it
melting it into a
disintegrates. And it's awesome.
It's so fucking
and this
gross.
guy, like I said, everybody in this movie acts so well because I could feel this guy's pain. Like,
100%.
This guy, the guy, and the look on his face too, just watching your arm disintegrate. And you're like, first of all, this fucking fly man just barfed on me. Second of all, it's melting my arm. And like, his face is in such shock, like it's really happening.
And you know what sucks too is like he saw the video, so he knows exactly what's happening.
Yeah,
like he's like, you'd have to be like, motherfucker,
and that's how he looks.
Yeah.
Like it's like half. That guy is an awesome actor. I have no clue who he is because it's half like in pain, half like you gotta be fucking kidding me.
He's been in some movies too.
It's John Getz is the actor.
Yeah, and then he barfs on his fucking foot, and like so he can't get around. So he barfs on his ankle, and then. This is so fucking gross. He barfs on his ankle, and much like acid that you've seen in any other movie, it's slowly eating away, like downwards, in a downward direction. And as it's happening, Jeff Goldblum like takes the tip of his toes on his feet and bends the foot backwards at the heel, like to rip off the foot. Yep. Like it's not enough to just melt it off. Yeah. He needs that bitch off as fast as he can. He's about to. Oh, what's that?
I was just gonna say. Jumping ahead, like you end up feeling sympathetic, but like at this point, he's such a huge piece of shit. But like, it's also not him. It's like the animal, the insect part taking over.
Right. And it's also weird because you kind of feel sympathy for this piece of shit ex-husband too, or ex-boyfriend.
I mean, nobody deserves to get
melted.
melted.
And like as big of a piece of shit as he is, he's like kind of coming to her defense. It's a weird. Cronenberg's weird, man. He just makes you feel all sorts of feelings. Like he doesn't let anyone, no one is black and white in this movie. Everyone's kind of, Gina comes out pretty clean in the whole thing, but like everyone else is just like, they're not that great of people.
No. But so this guy's fucked.
And he's about to barf on his fucking head to end it all. And Gina stops it.
Yes. So then Brundle says that he's going to use 3 telepods. The third one was like the original, the OG version of telepod. And he's going to fuse himself, Veronica, and the unborn child into one single thing.
We'll be the ultimate family, he says. He's like, what's better than 3 people in one?
There's so many things. I wish the rest of the movie was just her listing things that are better than that.
In the struggle, because he's like trying to force her into the pod, in the struggle, she like reaches up and fucking tears off his jaw.
Just rips it off. And then his face starts to crack and he just turns into a straight up insect.
He's just a bug. A giant fucking bug. A bug. It's awesome. A bug in human clothing. It's just, and it's so gross. And the fly throws her in, shuts the door.
Throws her in the pod.
And
it gets in its own pod.
Yep.
Shuts the door. But Stathis,
piece of shit X, saves the day.
He comes to, which is amazing. I'd probably just die. Even if that wouldn't like physically kill me.
Wouldn't you just use the gun to kill yourself?
You would.
You would. 100%.
How you walk out of it? You're not. Whatever. He gets the gun and he shoots like the cables.
Yeah, the cables
to her pod
that connect the things.
Yeah. So it like
It's a genius move because I was like,
whatever's going to happen isn't going to go to her pod.
Yeah.
Brundlefly is like, what the fuck? And starts like undoing everything, so the pod's opening, but it's not going fast enough because the timer's going down and his is still connected. Mm-hmm. So it starts to open, he starts to come out, and then the transformation or the teleportation starts to happen and he fuses with the metal.
Yeah.
So it just becomes...
It makes a Brundlefly
metal. Yeah. A Brundle pod.
And when this thing opens up, man, this thing is fucking vile. It's nothing. It's barely a living organism. It's like, I want to say it's crawling, but it's like...
Oh, it's crawling.
It's a desperate
in
crawl.
Pain. Yeah, it's in pain.
Gina has the gun. And in one of the most amazing and epic moments in like any movie ever, in my opinion, Gina's like holding the gun and she's like, she doesn't want to shoot him.
No.
Like at all. This thing is so fucking pathetic. And the fly, she's like holding the gun out though.
Reaches out, grabs the gun and just puts it against its forehead.
Dude.
I almost cried.
Dude.
It like got to me.
It is chilling.
Heartbreaking.
It is fucking chilling. And when you really think about it, like if I were a kid, well, I was a kid when I saw it, but like having seen everything else, like to think, like I don't get trapped in my head as much as I was when I was a kid, like on weird stuff.
Sure.
This is something you could get trapped in my head about. Like to think about being trapped inside an insect body.
Inside of
not
metal.
Talking. Well, yeah. Just
insect infused with metal
like,
now.
Dude, you can't talk. Like you were like a brilliant scientist. Now you're this fucking mess on the floor. Like, oh, dude, it was so fucked up.
She's trying.
She's screaming she can't, but ultimately she takes a step back and shoots Brundlefly.
Yeah.
Can't even imagine it. And that's the end, man.
5 stars.
5 stars. 100%. This movie is incredible. I love this movie so much.
Dude, I try not to get like, or I used to try not to give 5. Like, I felt like 5 stars would lose their meaning if you gave like a bunch. Like the show would be like, and that's bullshit because, there's so many bad movies that I just want to give 5 stars to the ones that deserve it, and this totally deserves
There's
it.
nothing wrong with this movie.
No, it's not. There's
the writing's perfect. The
everything is
perfect.
perfect.
The acting is great, and special effects are out of this world.
The best.
So.
And this shit is 31 years old.
That's actually crazy. Yes, like, that's crazy. And the special effects look phenomenal.
How far we've come, and like this looks like it could have been made today.
I'd honestly rather see this than a lot of the CGI I see.
I definitely would. Because we said it in this episode, like Jeff's transformation looked real. Like, it didn't look fake, like computerized. It was just,
and they really didn't.
He was adding more and more on like each scene.
Yeah, it's fucking bananas. So
fucking great.
The Fly. Thanks, Dre.
Yeah, seriously, thank you.
We don't get to say that often. We usually tell people to fuck off. So, to wrap up Monstervision week.
Game time.
Monstervision half month. Game time. 1980 is the year. 10 dead bodies. Knife to the stomach. Throat slitting. Cleaver through the back. X to the face, arrow through the forehead, fire poker to the face, frying pan to the head hacking, and some violin music by Harry Manfredini. I don't understand the last part.
Can I just say what my pre-guess was going to be?
Sure.
The Changeling?
It is not The Changeling.
Is it Evil Dead?
It is not. Oh, an L for Joe. It is Friday the 13th.
An era? Oh, yeah. Oh, here. Oh, man.
Yes.
All right. Oh, fuck me.
Pre-guess. I haven't seen The Changeling in forever. 1988.
Okay.
8 dead bodies. No breasts. 5 dead blanks.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
No.
Damn it.
Razor blade.
Monkey shines.
Razor blade slicing, knife to the leg, pus to the face, blank to the face, severed arm, foot biting, blank eating, death by toxic waste, death by pendulum, exploding blank, blank foo, and of course, toilet foo.
Ghoulies 2?
Nailed it.
Okay.
The blanks were Ghoulies.
Whispered it into my hand so nobody can hear me. Ghoulies 2?
He gave Ghoulies 2 stars, the same as Waxwork.
Well, we haven't watched Ghoulies 2, have we?
Didn't we?
No, we watched 1 and 3.
3? Oh, go to college.
Yeah.
No, wait. We did 2.
Ghoulies 2?
I don't know, man.
We did Critters 2. Passion of the Krites.
Did we
We
do
did the first 3 Critters.
Did we do Jesus Christ, this show. Which is the one where they're in like the basement? Is that the first Ghoulies?
What, Ghoulies?
Yeah.
Are they in a soup?
Yeah, in the soup.
Yeah, that's the first one.
That's the first one. That's so stupid. Oh yeah, and 2's the one we're like holding out hope.
Yeah, we think it might be good.
1 and 3 are bad, so 2 is gonna be good. Two is gonna be.
Yeah, but I think our thought process was the first Ghoulies were just like they're just like turds.
Yeah. And they're gonna be.
The third one is
funny.
too over the top.
Yeah.
This one's like in between. Yeah,
It's not. It's gonna be
it's gonna be so bad. Let's watch it.
All right. I almost just said the fucking name of the movie. 1987. 29 dead bodies. 1 dead kangaroo. No breasts. Throat ripping. I love that he says no breasts. Exploding tent. Killer nuns. Marsupial childbirth.
The Howling 3.
Werewolf ballet. Werewolf voodoo. Cheesy movie within a movie. Hypnosis foo.
The Howling 3.
Correct.
Okay.
How many stars do you think you gave it?
Way too many.
4.
No.
I don't know if he's ever.
He's
given
trolling.
Yeah. Sometimes I think he is.
How many more we got?
2 more for you. Now we were these 2. It's okay because we were running out of horror movies on there. The next one I'm going to give you is more comedy than it is horror.
Okay.
But the subject matter is horror, I guess. The second one, I don't even know. I know you've seen it. There's no way you'll get it. There's absolutely no way you'll get it. It's out of control. When I say the name, you'll be like, holy shit. And I also couldn't believe the year it was made. All right, 1995. Hang on. I just need to confirm that is actually the year it was made. Okay, yeah, okay. All right, 1995. 2 dead bodies, 2 undead bodies. This is the comedy one, by the way. 1 paper cut, 4 gallons blood, skull crushing, multiple stair rolling, stake to the heart, hand burning, eye poking, fancy dancing, and flaming. Insert lead actor's name.
Demon Knight?
No. It is.
Wait.
Oh, you want to try again?
I do.
Okay.
Flaming lead actor's name? You can't say the lead actor's name.
No.
Why?
Because it's the only. All right,
the only thing he's in?
Leslie Nielsen.
Dracula Dead and Loving It?
Yeah.
That's got to count for a win. You can't withhold information.
Get the fuck out. Anyway, 1995.
Okay.
This is one you'll never get.
All right.
9 dead bodies, 1 reanimated body, 2 dead beasts, 1 fuzzy wang doodle. I don't know what that means. Gooey arm covered in worms, multiple werewolf attacks, needle to the inner thigh, stomach ripping, steel rod through the foot, torpedo through the leg, exploding beast, werewolf cam, gratuitous chef, bazooka foo. I gotta see if you gave this movie stars.
1995?
Yeah.
A werewolf movie?
Dude, I couldn't believe it was made in 1995.
Wolfen?
No. I don't think you're going to get this.
Is there any other clue?
No, because it's stupid.
Wait. You said it might not be a horror movie?
I mean, it's a weird movie. If it's the one I'm remembering.
Is it the one with Jack Nicholson?
No.
All right, just tell me.
Project Metal Beast.
That fucking piece of shit.
Yeah. By the way, can you guess how many stars it gave?
4.
2.5. So just
Project fucking Metal Beast.
Waxwork. Waxwork. And what was the other good one he gave too? Ghoulies 2, which is not good, but better than Project Metal Beast. I can tell you that.
Metal Beast.
Project Metal Beast. I think that's what I'm thinking of. It's a fucking disaster, right?
Yeah, but I think we were gonna watch it for our creature feature. Jeez.
That's what we're gonna make Paul watch.
Okay. Sold.
Although I was thinking your Shark Week is coming up soon, right? Joe celebrates like a Shark Week for some reason every year. I don't really know why entirely. He might not even have a reason. But he does a Shark Week and he invites people over and they all watch shark movies.
Yeah. All night long.
I think that should be our.
We make Jello shots.
I think that should be our.
Drink what was that beer? Dogfish.
Oh yeah.
We only drink shark themed beer.
But maybe that's what we do. Maybe we do some shark movies with Paul.
Okay.
So I don't know. We'll consider it. Yeah. Maybe not. It's kind of trite. Everyone does sharks, right?
They do. I'm still gonna do mine.
Well, you've been doing yours for years.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like.
So that movie, 47 meter. Dude, there's so many bad shark movies. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. No, I know. I watched like 2.
Oh yeah, you came last year.
I watched like the end of 5 minutes.
The Joe D'Amato one.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't Cruel Jaws.
Oh no,
that was like Deep Blood or something. What a piece of shit.
Dude, it was
my God.
It was one of the most pitiful things I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's Joe D'Amato, the guy that did porno cannibals or whatever.
Yeah.
Porno Holocaust. Whatever, dude. Anyway, that guy's a fucking idiot. Yeah, that movie sucked. And then I saw the end of that and I was like, holy shit. And then I saw the beginning of like a new movie that was like, so outrageous. It was unbelievable. It was like Lake Erie.
No. It was way worse than that. The shark comes out of like the water.
Wasn't it a ghost shark?
Was it Ghost Shark?
I think it might have been.
Might have been Ghost Shark.
I think it was Ghost Shark.
I've seen a lot of bad shark movies. I can't keep them all straight.
Anyway, that's it for this episode. That's it for Monstervision. Thanks, Paul, for showing up to do the show. I really appreciate it.
What an asshole.
Really appreciate that. So thank you, Paul. Can't wait to have you on in 3 months. Thank you again. Next week. What are we doing? Patreon picks. We are doing
Project Metal Beast.
Oh, no, we already picked them. If you recall, Murder Party.
Oh, yeah.
And serial insane clown killer.
Yeah. Sound fun.
I'm excited. Our buddy Thom Tum picked out Murder Party and posted the funniest shit on our Facebook wall.
I saw, yeah.
It was Lucy pulling the ball away from Charlie Brown, and Charlie Brown's like midair, and he labeled Lucy horror show. He labeled the football as Murder Party episode and him as Charlie Brown. It was just so awesome. It was so true. I made a big announcement and it was like, oh, wait, by the way, we're going to do Monstervision next week. So thanks, John Lighton and Thom Tum for hanging in there and dealing with that. I should have edited it out, but I was like, I don't know. It's kind of funny the way we talk about it. And there was no way for me to edit it out without, because we were like laughing as we were announcing it. So we were like, those jerks. So anyway, those are our 2 coming up next couple weeks. And then we'll probably get Paul in here and do something soon. So rate, review, subscribe on iTunes. That's the best way to help us. If you do, send me an email, Sean@IHateHorror. I'll get some stickers out to you ASAP. Find us on Facebook.com/IHateHorror, IHateHorror.com. I'm on Twitter @IHateHorrorShow. and Snapchat and Instagram at I Hate Horror. Sorry to brain fart in the middle of that.
I'm at Jovi421, Boognish 1985, and Horror Show Joe.
And thanks to Harley Poe for allowing us to use the song Gorehound off the album Pagan Holiday. Appreciate it. And that's a wrap for this episode. So for Joe, this is Sean. Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Thank you. Adios.
Oh, I say adios.
Yeah.
Man, I gave you so much shit. 2 episodes ago. Adios.